Hi everybody, Barbara Lardnay here, and today is Friday, March 18th, and I'm going to talk about timing like I said I would in the last video regarding prophetic timings. Before I start that, can you hear the thunderstorm going on? There's a beautiful, delicious thunderstorm going on in my neighborhood right now, and I love this kind of weather, but the thunder and lightning, if you can look over here, there's little Dixie laying in a corner because she's terrified of thunderstorms, and I put a blanket over her so she's but if the thunder starts she'll probably speak up a little bit. Anyhow, back to what my video is about. I think that the timing of the prophetic is one of the things that trips us up more than anything else. When we hear prophets saying things, and prophets talk like this, they will say, in this hour, this day, now, this is happening. There is such a strong sense of the physical present tense a lot of times in prophecy. And yet, days can go by, months can go by, years can go by, and we don't see that fulfilled. And it's a trap for us because we often think, then that wasn't a true prophet, and that wasn't a real prophecy. But that's not necessarily true. I remember when Kim Clement was still on the earth, and I followed him, I read his books, and I was in some of his meetings. But he spoke some things that were very definite, but they did not come to pass in the timing that I thought, and they weren't really regarding, there were some present situations in the earth, and so I applied that prophetic word to those circumstances, and when it didn't come to pass that way, I kind of looked at him and I said, I'm going to lay Kim Clement to the side, and I'm not going to necessarily follow him anymore. Well, that was completely inaccurate on my part, because Kim Clement is more relevant in 2022 than he has ever been. And a lot of what he spoke, he was a genuine prophet. And a lot of what he spoke did not come to pass within a year, within 2 years, within 10 years. And now we are seeing, and now we can look back and see some things that have happened. He was very accurate. But if you get stuck in the wording that sounds so present, now why is it that way? Why do the prophets say now, and in this season, and in this moment, and those kinds of things? If they're speaking from the heart of God, just remember, God is not in time. So everything for God is in present time. And when he says that something, when God says that something's going to happen, it is going to happen. But a lot of times we interpret it incorrectly. Either we lay it aside because it didn't happen the way we expected it to. Time has gone by. I think about another prophet that I believe is genuine, and that's Charlie Shamp. And a couple of years ago, he prophesied something that we interpreted it to be regarding a particular event. And when the event was over, he actually came back and he said, I heard this from God, but I thought it was going to go this way. And he said it didn't go this way. So it must still be for a future time. And it is still waiting for that to happen. And I believe that is still going to happen. It's just that we applied what he said at that time to an event that it wasn't to be applied for. So when God says something, it's always trustworthy. I think about, I was looking at Habakkuk, and it says, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. That has not happened yet. And Habakkuk is considered a genuine prophet. It hasn't happened, but it is still going to happen. That is going to come to pass. Is it going to come to pass in our day? I am hoping so. And I'm applying that for today. And I'm saying, here, yes, this is going to happen because we are waiting for this great awakening. We're the awakening has already begun. But we're expectant on this great awakening, and I'm hoping that this prophecy will be fulfilled in my lifetime. But even if it isn't, it is going to be fulfilled. So check your heart, and when it says now and this season and this time, yes, listen to that, but be sure that you reserve for yourself the fact that God's in present time all the time and you're not. So be careful how you take prophecies and apply them to the circumstances that you want to apply them to. I think God wants us to keep leaning into Him and pressing into Him and asking Him, and not just going around and listening to something and then we go on our merry way. We have to take it to heart and really process it for ourselves and completely pray for the discernment to know who is true and genuine, what words are being spoken from the Lord, and which ones are just junk floating in the wind. And there's a bunch of that right now going on too. So that's my take on timing, but I still will cover a few more things regarding prophecy in the next video. Thanks for watching.